Hi guys, so Conor McGregor, also known as Andrew Tatel, sat down with right-wing commentator and Trump/Putin sycophant Tucker Carlson to discuss a number of issues. The chat took place in a Freemason lodge. Interestingly, the people who rented out the building didn't know who was going to use it and are not too happy about these guys using this location. Anyway, it wasn't exactly Sir David Frost interviews Richard Nixon, more of an attempt to pump up the image of McGregor, who for some reason keeps changing his accent here. It went on for about an hour, but I want to focus on the fighter's political ambitions and his opinion of Trump.
You know, we give the man a chance. He's not from a political background. He's from a different background. It's interesting. Let us see. And I thought he'd done well. You know, towards the end of the term, there may have been times to, as a leader of a country, you almost need to, cool the flames. Maybe there were some things that might have fanned the flames towards the end of his term that I thought. But this time around, I feel he's off to a good start, and I wish him well. I wish the country of the United States of America well. I consider them my dear siblings. We consider America our sibling, and I think it's going well, and we're getting a good fair bit of energy from Ireland, even amidst the tariff situation that is going on. Ireland's people have not seen the money got to do with this whatsoever. In fact, we have been, robbed of our own money, and yet we are supposed to be this wealthy country. Yet the people of Ireland.
So what the hell is he talking about here? You're talking about tariffs, and then you're talking about the money that the economy has, and Irish people are not seeing it. But what's that got to do with tariffs? Do you understand that Trump has imposed, the guy that you're a huge fan of, has imposed tariffs on goods coming from the Republic of Ireland? This is going to damage the Irish economy. But you're still a Trump supporter. You still think that he is doing a good job and he's off to a good start. Okay.
Are struggling to heat their homes. So there are many people who are seeing this tariffs.
Okay, do you think this is the imposition of the tariffs is going to improve the situation for ordinary people, or it's going to make the situation more difficult? See, there is an argument to be made for where is the money going. The Irish economy is doing extremely well. Why isn't this money being spread about? Why aren't ordinary people benefiting from growing GDP, from massive growth in the economy? That's a legitimate question. What's happening with healthcare? Is there enough money in healthcare? Is there enough money to build houses? Why is there a lack of housing in Ireland? These are all legitimate questions, but this is separate from the tariffs. Donald Trump has imposed tariffs, which is going to damage the Irish economy. How can you still support Donald Trump after that, and at the same time say, well, I want to see my country do well?
Situation as a gotcha moment for our government elite. I'm not so much of that. I wish for our country to be prosperous and our people to be prosperous. And that's what my aim is. That's what my wish is and my hope is.
So you're not necessarily against the tariffs, it doesn't sound like.
Well, our government say, what good is tariffs? Tariffs are no good for nobody. Yet they've been tariffing the United States. If that's the case, then why have we been tariffing them? Why?
So what the hell is he talking about? Legitimately, I have no idea what he's talking about here. Why have we been tariffing the US? If he's talking about the European Union, yes, the European Union imposes tariffs on other countries to protect domestic industries. Donald Trump claims to be imposing tariffs to protect his own industries. Now, he's not actually doing that. He's claiming at the same time he's going to recreate industries in the US, ones that don't exist at the moment, and support domestic ones. Does he actually understand how tariffs work?
Why have we been hitting them with tariffs? I'm not so much against it. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I wish for economic success for my nation, and Ireland deserves it. That's out straight. We played our cards correct in certain ways, and that's it. But like I said, fair. It has to be fair. Fairness is key here, and
Donald Trump has imposed tariffs on us. Do you think it would be fair for us to impose tariffs on the United States? Look, in a trade war, there are no winners. But what is he talking about here when he talks about fair? Does he understand what he's talking about even?
That's what I push for him.
Since no Irish politician, well, you're one of the most, maybe the most famous living Irishman. Okay, so there's that, world famous.
Really? Is he? Okay.
And you're saying things that the overwhelming majority of your politicians will not say that are probably pretty popular with the people. So you're therefore a massive threat to the structure running your country now. What do you think they're going to do to you if you keep talking this way?
Attempt to tarnish as they are, attempt to disrupt as they are, or possibly worse. But I do not.
Do you think they're going to put him in prison for not saying the right things? It's okay.
Fear. I do not fear it. Like I said, I move forward under God and my nation.
What the hell was that? In respect to the accent, was that a Russian accent he was trying to do there? Is he trying to, imitate Putin or something?
Famous. And you're saying things that the overwhelming majority of your politicians will not say that are probably pretty popular with the people. So you're therefore a massive threat to the structure running your country now. What do you think they're going to do to you if you keep talking this way?
Attempt to tarnish as they are, attempt to disrupt as they are, or possibly worse. But I do not fear. I do not fear it. Like I said, I move forward under God and my nation can see. My nation can see my heart and what I'm for. And that's it. That's like I move on and carry on.
You're really not afraid at all?
Not an iota.
When do you have to make the decision about whether you want to formally enter politics?
Well, we believe the election will take place November 11th. So it's a 60-day run-up prior to that. So I'm just going to keep, requesting a democratic process to play out and allow the people to decide and see where it falls. It'll become more evident if they deny this, that we are not a democratic country.
Right.
And they'll have to answer to their constituents at some stage. There will be accountability. It's how much are they going to be accountable for? They'll have to decide. And that's it.
You've described your...
Okay. So what he wants to do is he wants to run for president of Ireland. Now, there are a few obstacles in his way, and he has complained about these before, but the only way to change these obstacles is a change in the Irish Constitution. Under Article 12 of the Constitution, in order to be a candidate for the President of Ireland. Now, whether you agree with this or not, this is the situation. So if you want to change that, you need to convince the Irish people to vote in a referendum to change the Constitution. So you need 20 members of the Oireachtas, or the Irish Parliament, and you need at least 4 local authorities to back you. Now, there are reasons why they have this in place. Some of the reasons can be good, some of them are maybe a bit weak, but it's about having a candidate who has some sort of political backing and the public support necessary to run a campaign. So these are some of the reasons why. They use councillors or elected representatives to endorse these individuals, so this filters out sort of extreme candidates. It's a system to keep out crazy people. Because it's not like in other countries where, anyone can run for president or anyone can run for public office. It seems to be a system where it seems on the surface that it is sewn up by the main political parties. But there are a lot of political parties in Ireland. So all you need is 20 members of the Irish Parliament. And 4 councils, at least 4 councils. Now, there are a lot of councils and there are a lot of members of parliament. So if you're not completely insane, you can probably reach that threshold. It's not like the parties will vote to keep you out. It's just, you just have to have some sort of appeal within the parliament and within the local governments. And most people who are serious about running for political office can achieve that goal. But I don't think McGregor is serious about this. He thinks it's just like Trump. Oh, what I do is I get some big financial backers, I get a big profile on social media and stuff like that, and then I can win it. No. It's an older system. It's designed to keep out strange and crazy people, and it's been working pretty well so far. But you have to remember, the role of the Irish president is not like the president of the United States. It's more a ceremonial position. It's more a figurehead. It's not like the president of France or the president of the United States. The real power lies with the Taoiseach, the prime minister. So if McGregor truly wanted to change things, he would need to run for public office to become a TD or a member of parliament, and then lead some sort of party and become Taoiseach or prime minister. But that would require a huge amount of effort. It would require a lot of work, and I don't think he can really be bothered with any of that. So this was a pretty much pointless interview, but it was about pumping this guy up, giving him a huge platform. Tucker Carlson, of course, has a huge platform, and he wants to extend it to somebody like this. This is not really going to change things, I don't think. McGregor is, yes, he's quite famous, he's quite popular with some people, but his positions really aren't.